Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Halal Wealth Islamic Finance channel, where we talk about ways of building wealth, building our finances without compromising our path to Jannah. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Islamic finance definition of a loan and the different ways and conditions by which loans are granted under Islamic finance law, and also ways and means to avoid riba seeping into our loan transactions. Now, at the advent of loans, it is a contract of help, of assistance to someone in need. It is such that a person that needs something would approach a person that has that thing and seek to borrow that thing from them for a period of time with a promise to return the item that was borrowed. And this was a way in communities and societies to help one another. People considered this a noble gesture. And this was the way all around the world until people became smarter and, looking for ways to benefit from the help that they were given. And so giving this help that is giving loan degenerated into something else where people are seeking to make gains from it. So, for example, during the Asr al-Jahiliyyah, the dark era in Islamic civilization, before the advent of Islam, in the Arab culture, it used to be that a person will give this assistance to another person, that is, grant them a loan of an item. And by the way, loans can be for material or immaterial things. So it can be fungible or non-fungible, it can be money or other things. So a person would grant a loan of an item to another person. And when it came time to pay that loan, and when the loan was granted, it will be granted with no conditions attached to it. But when it comes time to pay up the loan and the borrower is unable to fulfill their obligation of paying back the loan at the time, then the lender will give them two conditions. It's either you pay the loan right now as agreed, or I will give you extra time, but then you would have to pay for that extra time in addition to the original loan. Now, there were also other ways that this was done. They also found ways to also say, initially, they were not given any conditions for paying extra on the loans. But then some people got greedy, and at the point of lending the item to the borrower, they will give a condition to say, you're going to return the amount I am lending you, but you're going to return it with an extra on top of it. And other people also find other ways to say, for example, I'm giving you this loan, you're going to pay back the exact amount I'm giving you, but for the time of the loan, you are going to serve me, or you're going to give me one of your children to work for me on my farm until you pay back the loan. So there were different ways that people sought to benefit from the loan that they were giving to borrowers. And all of this made loans deviate away from the initial purpose, which is as a source of help, a contract of kindness, a contract of helping other people. And then came Islam. And when Islam came, Allah forbade and abolished all the practices of interest and usury on loans, commanded that all loans should be returned based on the actual amount or the actual item that was borrowed. So Islam abolished everything that has to do with riba or usury on loans. Therefore, that leads us to ways to examine all loan transactions and find and cleanse them of everything that has to do with riba, because now riba is expressly forbidden in Islam. So as Muslims, we are concerned, we care that all of our loan transactions, and we cannot stop having loan transactions. We still have to help one another. We still have to assist one another. And on the side, we also have to make profit. We have to do business. But now we have to combine these two things without crossing the line of Allah. We have to give loans and keep it as a contract of kindness, a transaction of helping one another. But we also, as human beings, have to live in a society where we have to make profit, we have to live together, but make profit and have a way to feed ourselves and our families. How do we reconcile these two things? First is to make sure that our loans are structured in ways that they do not step out of the line of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they do not contain riba or usury transactions in them. And this leads us to identifying the means by which riba manifests in loan transactions. So number one, means by which riba manifests in loan transaction is as described earlier. where a person seeks to benefit or take more than the actual loan that they granted. For example, a person will give another person a loan of $50, seeking to take more than $50 in return for that $50. Whatever extra one takes on top of that $50 is considered riba, because, again, you have to take the exact amount that you have given. And if it is a non material item, it is the same. If it is weight, the weight that is given, that is lent, that you lend, or that is borrowed, is the same weight that should be returned. Anything on top of it is considered interest or usury, riba, which is forbidden. The second way that it manifests is in a reduction in the actual amount that was given. If this was given as a condition during the lending, that I'm lending you $50 on the condition that you return to me $40, or the borrower is the one given a condition that I'm going to return only $40 to you, and they are forcing the lender to accept less than how much they actually borrowed, the reduction, the reduced amount on top of it is a source of riba. It is, the difference is that the riba of increase is consumed by the lender. The riba of decrease is consumed by the borrower. Both of them are riba. They make the transaction forbidden. The third means by which riba manifests in a loan transaction is for the lender to seek to make some form of benefit from that loan, even if it is not in terms of the amount or the weight of the thing that was borrowed. For example, a person lends another person a certain amount and collects a collateral in lieu of that amount for the term of the loan. This transaction is fine. What makes this bad, the way that riba comes into this collateralated transaction, is for the lender to make use of that collateral without paying for it during any time during the time of the loan contract. Making use of the collateral that was given or that was put down on top of that loan is a form of riba, because you are reaping benefits from that collateral based on that loan. That extra benefit, even though you are accepting back the exact amount that you borrowed, but you're reaping extra benefit from the collateral that was given. That benefit that you're reaping from that collateral is a form of riba. Another way that it manifests by means of reaping benefits is to grant a loan to someone and then make it a condition for that loan that the person serve you in one way, form, or another, to offer a service to you that you're not paying them for. For example, you loan someone $50 on the condition that they do your laundry for you one time, twice, or throughout the time of the loan. That extra service or that extra benefit that they're serving for you, or that you give them a condition that they work on your farm, or you give them a condition that they do something for you. Whatever it is that is the benefit that you're reaping as a condition for granting that loan is a form of riba, because that's an extra you're getting for whatever you have borrowed them. Another way this manifests is that you, for example, reap a benefit, again, in form of reaping a benefit from the person, is to use something that they have, force a person, for example, to conduct a transaction with you, which they would not have conducted normally, willingly from their heart. But you're making it a condition for granting them the loan, that they must, for example, purchase something from you, or that they must, for example, sell something to you that they would normally not do willingly, but as a condition for you granting them that loan. All of this form a basis, a means by which riba manifests in loans according to Islamic finance laws. Now, how then can we as Muslims benefit economically from doing business transactions with people where they're in need and we have what they need from us? Well, there's a way to structure granting a loan to a person that does not include riba. This means is used by Islamic banks, for example, in their transactions, in a product that they call murabaha. We'll explain this concept better in another video, but basically it is a way to structure a loan as a trade rather than a loan. So you have trading and you have lending. So rather than lending someone an amount and having them pay you more so you make gain from that, which is riba, you structure that lending or that loan as a trade where you're selling them something and you're making profit from the sale rather than borrowing them money and making profit from the money you're borrowing them. Inshallah, we'll talk about this in another video. For now, kindly subscribe to this channel, share with your friends, and follow for more. Put in the chat if you have any contrary opinion to what we have said in this video, or you have any question regarding anything that you have heard in this video. Put in a comment in the chat, and I will be glad to respond to you. Thank you.